Sean, sorry, I don't know if you covered this in the earlier panel or not, but would it make sense to just give a little overview in terms of the sort of the rubric we follow in terms of scoring?
Sure. Yeah. No.
Because there's different components, and getting the answer technically right is only one component, and teams have won the competition, notwithstanding the fact that they missed an issue or were completely wrong on one of the issues presented, but they did well enough on everything else that they overcame it. So.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. And the first thing I'll say to back up all the way, the rules for this competition, both the JD and LM, are published online. If you have any interest in getting involved in this competition, if you are competing in this competition, read those, every word of it, because they're all important and they all have a purpose, and they will outline a lot of what we're saying up here. But to Armando's point, the competition really, to back up even further, there's two different competitions within this. There's a JD and LLM, and the problems are drafted generally to be what a first, second, maybe third year JD student would have seen or might see within those years. Same thing with an LLM. They're obviously a little more complex, but would touch on issues that you probably would have seen somewhere during your time in the LLM program. Each side of it, the JD and LLM, has two portions. There's a written round, which is judged by young lawyers. We have an army of people every year who volunteer and review every submission multiple times. And the cream of the crop from the JD and LLM get invited to the mid-year meeting where they compete in the oral round in front of Dick Armando and many others. So that's an overall breakdown of the
Sean,
the
can
program
you give us
itself.
a sense as to who's in the Army?
I'm sorry?
Who's in the Army?
Well, Anne Marie is one of, she and I, you are the general. We have a list of past competitors, past YLF members, current YLF members. We generally send out a message. We have a team who does it pretty consistently every year, just like we have from the oral round. And then we send it out to our listserv to get additional people. I'd say there's no limitation of the number of people. The more eyes we have looking at it, the better. But it generally is, the majority of it is either prior competitors, people in the Young Lawyers Forum. But to Armando's point, the written round submissions, it's broken down into two areas. There's a memo to the partners and then a letter to the respective client. That is, there's 100 points, 160 points total between those two, 100 in the memo and 60 in the letter. 70% of that is content, 20% of that is organization, and 10 points of that is style. Same thing with the letter, 60 points is content, 10 is organization, and 10 is style. With the oral rounds, there are 30 points possible. 5 of those 30 is teamwork, 15 is technical knowledge, and 10 is individual presentation. Again, those are broken down a little bit in more detail in the rules, but it gives you an idea of what the guidelines that we have when we're either doing the written round or the oral round.